Thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2. It's a great day to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Let's jump right in. So this could be absolutely huge for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I know you're going to say, well, that's a lot of what ifs. But cornerback Asante Samuel Jr., who is an excellent player during his time with the San Diego Chargers, he is coming back from a neck fusion, and he is set to visit the Steelers this Wednesday. And this is what I really believe. I believe that Coach Tomlin will make the difference. A lot of players want to play for Coach Tomlin. It's up to Asante Samuel Jr. where he wants to play, and I believe he will want to play in Pittsburgh. This could be a huge piece to the puzzle for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, you're going to say big ifs. Neck injuries are always bad, but let's just say hypothetically, he's fine. He doesn't get stingers anymore. This could be a big, huge piece for the Pittsburgh Steelers to get us to the Super Bowl. I know everybody wants a receiver, and so do I. The Pittsburgh Steelers are not going to sell the house to bring in Jalen Waddle, and I absolutely agree with them. I don't think that we should. So let's jump into this article, and I'll go from there. Fowler, free agent cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. set to visit Steelers. Oh, I absolutely love it. Free agent cornerback Asante Samuel Jr. is saving the best for last. He is scheduled to visit the Pittsburgh Steelers next Wednesday, according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, who tweeted Samuel's busy schedule. Per Fowler, he's set to visit with 5 other teams first: the Carolina Panthers, Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings, San Francisco 49ers, and Chicago Bears. And Asante Samuel Jr. is still in his prime. He's only 26 years old, and he was a very good player for the San Diego Chargers before he got injured. Very smooth, just like his father, a pro's pro. I really believe that he could help the Pittsburgh Steelers win. And you're going to say, oh, look at all those other visits he's going on. But remember the Coach Tomlin factor. A lot of NFL players want to play for Coach Tomlin, and I think Coach Tomlin will seal the deal for Asante Samuel Jr. to be a Pittsburgh Steeler. Asante Samuel Jr., he was a second-round pick in 2021. Samuel has started 47 NFL games. He's picked off 6 passes. His injury limited him to just 4 games with the Chargers last season, and Samuel became a free agent in March. What do we have to lose? I really hope that Asante Samuel Jr. wants to be a Pittsburgh Steeler and wear the black and gold, and we'll go from there. But he could be a huge pickup for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We all know that the Pittsburgh Steelers need a wide receiver, but Capoli wrote today Omar Khan was working his you-know-what off to land a wide receiver at deadline, wasn't willing to sell the farm, and I absolutely agree with him. There were some guys that were in on pretty deep that stayed put, Mark Capoli said Wednesday via his Capoli and Mac podcast. Do I know the exact names of these people? No. But he went out there and they tried to upgrade the wide receiver position, and they just weren't going to sell the farm. You sell the farm to a degree if it's a guy that you know is going to come in and be a difference maker. When did Jacoby Myers turn into Jerry Rice? He didn't. The high price tag dissuaded Steelers from signing Dolphins wide receiver Jalen Waddle. I was told Broncos were among the teams that explored a deal for him as an elite wideout at age 26 with a reasonable contract was enticing. ESPN's Jeremy Fowler wrote in his weekly Buzz column, the Steelers, the Giants, and others either had interest or would have had interest if not for the steep price tag, which, depending on what team you asked, fluctuated between a first-round pick or a 1 plus a first-rounder and more. I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers should have gave up a first-round draft pick for Jalen Waddle. I have no problem finishing the remainder of the season with the receivers that we have on the Steelers roster now. Hopefully they just keep developing and getting better and better each week with Aaron Rodgers. So I'm glad that Omar Khan was not willing to give up a first-round draft pick for Jalen Waddle, even though he's an excellent player. Remember, next year's draft is going to be in Pittsburgh, and nothing will be more exciting than drafting our first-round pick. That also plays into it, and I just don't think that we should have gave up the farm to sign Jalen Waddle. It's also being reported a lot of players want Steelers to keep changes made on defense versus Colts, Fittipaldo said. TJ Watt talked about the Steelers simplifying the game plan on defense after they beat the Colts. They didn't have a lot of choices, but to do that because they had a new starter. Due to injury and illness, they played newly acquired Kyle Duggar at safety. 6 years ago when they acquired Minkah Fitzpatrick in season, They simplified things to let him play fast right away. But the Steelers didn't just simplify things on defense. They also blitzed less, and they played more two-high safety looks. And Jalen Ramsey was the other safety next to Duggar. The Steelers benched Juan Thornhill, thank God. Whatever they did, it largely worked, and Filippo says the players wanted to keep it. It was done out of necessity because of the injuries, but I think the byproduct of that was they played a much simpler defense against the Colts. He said on 93.7 The Fan, in the locker room after the game, I could tell you a lot of players on that team want them to just go forward with that approach. I just think when they were trying to play a lot of man and they were trying to disguise things and really be intricate, a lot of the guys on defense, maybe they were just a step off, didn't know their assignment, or late getting the communication, he said. Just by simplifying things, I think a lot of guys were better because of it. The Steelers were known for running a very complicated defensive system under Dick LeBeau some time ago. One of Mike Tomlin's core tasks after moving on from him was to begin to simplify things. This year, it seems he ramped up the complexity due to the confidence that he had in the veteran secondary. Unfortunately for him and the Steelers' defense, that didn't exactly work out. You know, Coach LeBeau had different types of players, guys that really knew their assignment. And I remember at the time, Dick LeBeau and Coach Tomlin, they had a little bit of a disagreement. Dick LeBeau liked for rookies and first-round draft picks to sit on the bench for a while till they really learned the defense. And Coach Tomlin wanted them to play right away. So, I mean, what's ever going to make us play as a defense? You can only play the players you have, and you can only play to their strengths. Obviously, I would love to play real Blitzburg football, but if you have a bunch of athletes unwilling to put the time in to learn that defense and run that defense properly, and you keep getting torched, as much as I would like to run it, you have to change things. And I give Coach Tomlin credit for putting Jalen Ramsey at free safety. That's where he needs to be. And I think getting Brandon Echols onto the field with his speed and his youth and his feisty competitiveness is an excellent decision by Coach Tomlin and the Pittsburgh Steelers. He really needs to be playing since week 1, and I think things are only going to get better for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And with that being said, thanks for tuning in to Steel City Football, the 4-1-2.